How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. I'm so glad to see you today. I'm glad you're back because I'm glad I'm back too. Wow, what a couple of weeks we had. You know, Hurricane Fiona went through here on September 23rd and 24th. That was a Friday night and a Saturday morning. And that knocked power out, of course, with a lot of other damage that we had. And I have an upcoming video that's going to show the damage that we incurred here at the camp. So stay tuned for that. Also, there's an update in there on Nanny. So I just want to say that Nanny is, she's doing better in tiny steps. She's taking tiny steps towards getting better. She has a couple of good days and then she'll have a bad one. But, you know, God love her. She's a fighter and she's really fighting this. So thanks for all your continued prayers and support and thoughts. And I have to say, we've been getting lots of emails and lots of, you know, inquiries about how she's making out. It sure is nice to see that. You know, the YouTube community, it's amazing. It's amazing. It truly is. And so thanks for all that. And I try to respond to all the emails, but you know, when we lost the power, we also lost internet. So that means I couldn't respond to emails. Every now and then we'd get service on the cell phone, but you know, that was sketchy at best. So I did respond to some of the emails and things like that, but I couldn't post any videos. So anyways, long story, but here it is. This is what the camp looked like on Sunday, the 25th of October, Sunday, the 25th of September. So take a look and see. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks a lot for all your thoughts and concern for Nanny, and we'll talk to you. How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. Boys, oh boys, what a week this has been. I want to give you a quick update on Nanny. First of all, poor Nanny, she's holding her own, but the gains are hard to measure, but I think she is improving. So I want to again thank everyone for all their thoughts, kind wishes and prayers, because they sure are helping, but Nanny is struggling to get by. Like I say, small improvements, but she is improving. All right, but then I'm not sure whether everybody was watching the news there or not, but anyway, on Friday night and Saturday morning, Hurricane Fiona paid us a visit. She's quite the girl. I'm never inviting her back, I'll tell you that. She leaves an awful mess behind. We had winds recorded here around the lake about 150 kilometers an hour. And it went on for probably 6 hours. It was a pretty harrowing night. We didn't get much sleep. And I was trying to look out the window during the storm to see what kind of damage was going on, but there was lots of wind, lots of rain, and it was blowing spruce needles and leaves and everything up against the camp and against the windows. So I had a hard time seeing out the windows to see what the damage was. So come Saturday morning, yesterday morning, today is Sunday, by the way, the 25th of September. So when I'm making this video, I'm not sure when I'll be able to post it. But anyway, when I got to look out, what a disaster. I'm telling you, the landscape has changed. The landscape around the lake here has changed, not just for us, but for all the people on the lake. It's devastating. It really, really is devastating. Thankfully, knock on wood, there's no reports of any injuries to people. No, any death or anything like that, nothing like that, no injuries. Everybody escaped unscathed personally, but as far as properties and real estate and you know, infrastructure goes, not so lucky there. I'm outside in the yard right now. You can probably hear chainsaws in the background, plus our generators running. We lost our power early Friday evening. The estimated return date for our power is now Wednesday, the 28th of September. But man, I'm telling you, we're not going to get it by the 28th. It's going to be out here for over a week, I'm sure, because we have on our lane here, there's at least 4 power poles that are snapped off. Just about everybody's feed into their camp, their power lines are tore down. I lost my power lines. She's a wreck, that's for sure. It's a nice day today, nice and sunny, and it's even warm. So I wanted to just give you a little glance of what's going on. Nanny and I were lucky. We didn't have any real serious damage. Our boathouse down by the lake, I think that's been destroyed. A tree fell on that. Anyway, I'll show you that in a minute. But anyway, I just want to give you a look. So I'm just gonna take a little walk around and show you some of the destruction. It's mainly just trees falling on things, but the trees are big. Trouble is now too, the trees, they just blew over. They didn't break off, they blew over. The ground got saturated because we had pretty near 3 inches of rain, so the ground got saturated, no roots to hold the trees, and the wind coming from the north just blew them all over. So the problem with that is now when it comes time to clean up the mess, to cut the tree, when you cut the tree, the top half is going to finish falling to the ground and may damage buildings. Like I've got some buildings that are in jeopardy from the tops of the trees coming on them when I cut the tree off. But then the bottom will also stand up again, and that could be dangerous when you're cutting. And even if the bottom doesn't stand up, then you've got this big hole in the ground where the root ball was that we have to repair somehow. But anyway, no, I don't recommend hurricanes in case anybody's interested. So we didn't get much done in Nannys Garden this year for a lot of different reasons. The main one, poor Nanny, she's the gardener, and she wasn't doing too good this summer. So we're going to start over here in this corner. We had a greenhouse right here, so there's some trees that come down on that, as you can see. I don't think the greenhouse is jeopardized in any way other than trees laying on it, but we had this big spruce tree here that came down. It just missed the corner of the greenhouse. But anyway, that's laying across the garden here now. So that's that's one. There's our power line. Normally it doesn't come down to the ground like that, but in this case it does. Yeah, so we have to get that repaired. And then there's just total debris around the yard everywhere. Over here behind the shop, I was happy to see some of the maples that I tapped weren't damaged in any way. But anyway, in here, we're now between the greenhouse and the shop. The greenhouse is in through there. She's just a wreck. Bunch of windfall in here. These trees all blew this way because the wind was from the north. The north is to our right now. So I can see some wrinkles in the greenhouse fabric there. So I think the greenhouse is being deformed, but I don't think anything's broke. But then here, there was a big spruce fell down, and it took a couple of maples with it. It's laying across the corner of the shed here where Nanny keeps her lawn tractor and the shop, but no real damage. It's just leaning on there. But getting it off of there is going to be a trick, and I'm not exactly sure how to do that. You see that spruce tree up there is way above the peak of the shop. So how do you get that down, right? I don't know. Anyway, there's the top of the tree there that, don't know where that came from, but anyway, there it is. We had, I don't know, a bunch of trees in the lane. But you hear the chainsaw going in the background. That's our neighbors. They're all out helping everybody get their lanes cleared. So Saturday afternoon, a couple of neighbors dropped by and we cleaned a bunch of the windfall from my lane. But you see there's still a couple of trees leaning. I'd like to get those cut out of there, but they're quite large and I'm not exactly sure how to handle them myself, so I'm going to wait until the neighbors get more lanes cleaned out and then we'll have a go at cleaning these big ones. But you see all through there's lots of windfall. Big spruce tree that fell down in there, and there's its root ball right there. Big hole in the ground now. Lots of places for bears to spend the winter now anyway. But yeah, devastation everywhere. We didn't, you know what, we didn't lose any shingles off our roof, and we had no damage to the camp. So, you know, that was, I have to say, that's a miracle. There's some trees blew over there. Some branches come down off of this maple. And here's an interesting thing too. This little shed that I built here, this tree, I was going to cut it down, and I said, no, I'm going to leave it. And I cut a hole in the roof right there. You see the hole that I cut out, the notch, to let that tree grow. And that tree never fell down yet. But anyways, between us and our neighbors here now, this is just a jungle. All through there. Those trees all used to be, you know, plum. perpendicular to the ground. They're not anymore. Quite a mess. It really is a mess. There was this tree right here is a spruce tree. Let me see if I can walk through here without breaking my neck. This spruce tree was a big, large spruce tree, quite tall. Quite tall, as you can see, probably 40 feet, maybe. Anyway, it blew over. There's its root ball there. It didn't break, it just blew over. We'll get down here, maybe get a better look at it. This fella blew over. Hope you can see that good. But just, I was surprised that that guy blew over because he was a healthy, big, strong tree. A black spruce to last forever. But he didn't make it through this storm. Another one in here fell down. And you see the root fall in there. And then just devastation here. You can see right over to our neighbors. Before you couldn't see there, that was all tree lined. But now it's just looks like pickup sticks in there. And we had to pick them up. And there's a big one there that snapped off. And then down here by the boathouse, this is where disaster struck. Our little dock here with the steps on it, this survived okay. We lost one of our finger piers here. That's, well, there's the sawhorse. And the finger pier, if you can see, when I go down these steps here to the lake, you can see way up there, that's the that's our other dock. Our neighbors had a nice dock with a gazebo on it, and it's gone. And see way over there, that blue barrel that's way across the lake, not sure where that came from, but that's where their dock ended up with the gazebo on it. It just blew away. And there's the sawhorse that supports our last finger pier out here. But yeah, and then this was sad. This was a nice tapper here, this maple. This guy right here. So he blew over. Nice big tree, eh? Used to tap that fella. And when he blew over, that root ball that he turned up tipped the corner of my dock. Here, picked that corner up. So it displaced my dock. So we're going to have a bunch of work to do to repair that. And then this one over here, this big spruce, that was a black spruce. Monster big tree. And that tree, even in the strongest of winds, wouldn't even shake back and forth. Well, it didn't last this storm. Fiona got him. And as you can see, made an awful mess of the boathouse. Smashed open the roof, split this wall and blew that front wall out of the boathouse. So yeah, I think my boathouse is toast. And our little wind whirligig up on the roof is he's hurting. So yeah. And this root ball, by the way, if we were to lay that back down, it would go right out into the lake because that's how far out it went. And you see my water line is pulled out of there. But that was for outside water. We still have our water well, our drinking water, all that is good. But yeah, the outside water is going to need some repairs as well. So yeah, not pretty, as they say. But anyway, let's go see what else we can find out here. Come with me as we walk under all this stuff. Ooh, this is exciting. Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah. I tried to get into a boathouse here the other day, but nope. There, got it off. Can't see much in here other than the roof. My roof was made out of 2x4s. I'm not sure how well you can see this. Don't know if the power's still on. No. I just made the roof rafters out of 2x4s. Well, you see, well, there's one of them on the end there that's not compromised. The other ones are all broke. and crushed, and my outside water pump is under there. While I'm here, I think I'm going to shut the power off to that, because if we ever do get power back again, I don't want anything running down here, so we'll shut that off. I think the base is still good though, and the window didn't break, so there. Look at that, the door still works. Amazing. All right. What do you think of that? Yeah. That's a big tree, eh? Like, let me just show you here. I can't get my arm around it. So it's heavy. So how do you get this tree down? Another interesting one. Oh, I don't know. So my boat rack was broke from another previous storm, and I hadn't repaired it. Well, she's totaled down. And you can see here, if you follow that line, yeah. Now the boathouse is garbage. Too bad. And my boat ramp is down in there. I think it survived. But there's the root ball from that black spruce. So like, even when my issue is, even when I cut that out of there, like, I don't know how to, I'm gonna need like 5 yards of fill just to fill in that hole. And you can't put fill into the lake, so I don't know how I'm gonna do that. In through here, look at that, can you see in there? She's a mess. All these trees, eh? They're all blown over, they're all compromised, so they have to come out. This tree here, another big black spruce, blew over the root ball, so the roots are broken. That, so you know that even if I cut this stuff off it, if I cut all those trees off it and that tree stands up again, the roots have been compromised, so it'll come down eventually some other day. So it's got to go. And here's my trail that I have back up. It comes from the shop. Trail goes up, meanders up and through there. And, well, you can't get through there. There's a lot of trees there. I like this part of the yard here around the camp, because this was all wooded and it kind of protected us from the wind. But I think when all is said and done, this will all have to be cleared out, so it's going to be a clear view right down to the lake now anyway. But look at the trees. Like, how many trees are there? I can't count that all. So some more. That's that big spruce that's on the boathouse. Now my son Chris put his camper trailer here 2 weeks ago. He thought this would be a good spot for it, and I guess he was right, because look, this tree fell down, just missed the corner, didn't even damage it. So good for Chris. His trailer is still here. We'll have to cut that tree out of the way to fix it up. But anyway, look at that. How to go Fiona. Who pissed in your cornflakes? That's what I'd like to know. Like, we can't get through here anymore. We got a lot of work to do to clean up here. So if you know anybody who wants to come and cut wood, check my about page, give them to send me an email when I get internet back. This tree, whoops, this tree blew down and went right through here, right into Nannys Garden. Now here's an interesting thing. This black spruce that sits right up there, I was sure that was going to blow down into the camp, because as you can see, the wind was coming again from my right here, and that tree is loaded with branches on the left. So the wind was blowing that way towards the camp, and I thought for sure it was going to come down, but it withstood it. I think I'm going to cut it down though, because it'll probably come down again someday. So I'm going to cut that fella down, I think. So quite a mess, eh? Like, you couldn't have come here and made more of a mess if you wanted to. So we're walking up the front of the camp. The camp itself, we did all right. Other than, you know, spruce needles and everything plastered all over everything. The camp itself never got touched. So we can be thankful for a few things. Now, if we go through here, you see where those trees blew down. This is up by our fire pit. It's hard to hear now because of the generator. But that tree fell down across there, broke one of our lawn chairs, damaged another one, but that's okay. I can rebuild those. This lawn chair is can't say that fella, but that guy got damaged, but he can be fixed. There's the walkway. I swept the deck off a little bit. It looked like that, right? It just scrubbed brush everywhere. And then this is the tree that's really got me worried. There's a big pine tree here, pretty heavy. It's sitting on my sugar shack. So right now I don't know how to get that down. I'm thinking if I were to cut it down in the back corner there, behind the sugar shack, then this part that's up high would fall down on the shed at the end of the shop. This part here would fall down and damage that. So I'm thinking if I could get halfway up there, if I could cut that just halfway through, put a rope on this, then I could pull that down slowly, and as it breaks, the back part of that pine would stand up again. But he's a mess. Also, I've got these temporary shelters here. This one that the tractor's in, nothing touched it. Amazing, nothing touched it. This fella here, this shelter is quite old. This end wall was just about gone anyways. Well, that blew out early on, but the other two walls, no problems at all. The shelter didn't move. I had it strapped down to my snowblower, but it didn't move an inch. I was pretty impressed with that. And this shelter, of course, didn't move either. And it's a good thing because that's where I have my tractor. So here's the view from the front of the camp now. What a mess, eh? That used to be the boathouse, boys. Quite the mess. Where do you start? I don't know. So all in all, she was quite nice. And now it's going to be quite a long time to get things straightened away. We have no power, we have no internet, so I'm not sure when I'll be able to upload this video. But it was nice today. I wanted to get her made. So now at least we have this record for the future. Anyways, folks, thanks a lot for watching, and thanks again for all your prayers and well wishes for Nanny. We sure do appreciate that. And you know, I hope you're safe where you are. I know there's a lot of people that got hit a lot worse than us. The way Fiona came in Nova Scotia, it came in to the east of us, so we, I think, got more rain and probably more wind. But where the eye went through, it went through just about through, if you know Nova Scotia at all, it went over Canso and into St. Peter's area and up through there between St. Peter's and Port Hawkesbury, and traveled up, you know, through Mabou and Inverness and Cheticamp, and then went out across, got the eastern tip of PEI, and then it headed for the Magdalen Islands, and it went smack dab over the Magdalen Islands. So I hope they're all okay there. And in Port Basque in Newfoundland, they got hammered real bad. Like lots of storm surge, and it was high tide at the same time, which is not good. Showed pictures of garages and homes floating in the ocean. Terrible. And I have a daughter-in-law who comes from Corner Brook, and they got hammered pretty good too. So it was quite the storm. It lasted, you know, when you just think about the energy that's in a hurricane. This Fiona has been going on for 6 days with amazing amounts of energy. Like the energy it takes to blow over one tree, I'll tell you, could light your house for a year. And it just blew trees over like they were matchsticks. So hurricanes, don't like them. I don't like them. They're like the Toronto Maple Leafs. Don't like them. Like liberals. Don't like them. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I hope you're safe. Hope you're all well. Hope you're doing good. And thanks a lot for your thoughts and concerns for Nanny. Take care, folks. We'll talk to you.